open it up. But my guy would be Shaq. If I had to leave one
And you
off,
have
it
Wilt
would be
11
Wilt.
and Keem 12.
Yeah.
The
Wilt 11. Yes.
The Wilt 11. So
I love that.
I got to say, I think
That's
this
great.
is
Thank
a
you.
bit of a cop-out.
What? What?
Because I thought, I'll be honest, I thought I was going to get a 1 through 10, like numbered, because Brew, I agree with you.
He's like unimpeded. He's on the list, Nick, of who you're taking out. Like he's one of those you're like, you can't take him out.
So here's the thing, and this is where I find it interesting, and I don't want to rearrange lists based on a round one performance, but it is not simply based on a round one performance or one game. It is not a knee-jerk to a moment. It is a reaction to an act of his career that I did not think we were going to get. Mm-hmm. When Durant leaves and they miss the playoffs without Clay, and then the next year they still don't have Clay, but they have Steph and Draymond all year, and they miss the playoffs again, and then last year they're back in the playoffs, but they're going to lose to Memphis, it looked like, at different points in that series. It's like, okay, Steph's now done winning titles with this core. The fact that they won last year, he willed them to victory now in round one. Road games have been their biggest issue, and now they have home court in round two because they're playing the Lakers, and they have the second best odds to win the title. All of that makes you have to reconsider everything about who's who in the NBA. So I like your grouping. Here's where I think Steph's going to have the strongest case, and then I've got something I want to show you. Yes, Steph is not the defender that some of those guys on his tier
and some
were.
of them weren't great.
No, but like
Magic and Bird were phenomenal defenders.
But his selflessness, leadership, and ultimate teammate stuff is that of Tim Duncan.
Yes.
And Steph is such a greater offensive player than Duncan was. To me, you can start to make the argument that offsets the Duncan's, one of the greatest defensive players ever, the gap there. It is now a real argument. Steph Curry or Larry Bird, Steph Curry or Tim Duncan, Steph Curry or Kobe Bryant. It has to be. And it has to be. And so
you don't think so?
Steph or Kobe?
Wilds has a soft spot to Kobe
kind of,
in a unique way.
If he wins it this year, it really becomes.
But can I show you a different thing, Wilds, that I think you'll like?
And even maybe Magic.
So if all of NBA history had to be distilled down to one page, and you said, I'm telling the history of the league, there are only 11 guys who you have to include. No matter what, you must, in order to tell the story of the league. So Akeem's not on there, Moses Malone's not on there, Duncan's not on there, all-time great players that are better than some of these guys on this list.
Sure.
But you can no longer, Brew, tell the history of the league in any credible fashion without including Steph Curry. And there's only 10 other guys you can say that about. Of course, if we had more if you had more pages, more volume, you bring in Durant, you bring in Giannis, you bring in a lot of guys. But you can't tell the story of basketball without these 11 people. And he's one of them, and that to me is undeniable, Wilds.
It's pretty good.
It's
a good list. I wonder if Bird and Magic should almost share.
Wilt and Russell could share, and Bird and Magic could share.
And
if people don't know,
I'm glad you got Dr. J in there.
It's an important part because there was a period of time where the best basketball might not have been being played in the NBA. Right. That's part of the NBA story. And so he's now done.
He's changed the game.
And
all those guys have not changed the game.
And I do wonder, and I guess we can talk about this more maybe later, Wilds, how long he wants to keep doing this. Because his mere existence causes panic in the other team and makes your offense go just by him being out there without taking a shot. That will last forever. That will last far longer than the handle and the finishing and all of that. So if he doesn't mind at 40, he's 35, at 40, being not the go-to option, but just a part of a great team, he still can do it.
He looks like he's got 2-3 years maybe left as the go-to guy.
Yeah, I mean, 40 plus at 35 or older. Only 7 guys have ever done it. He's now one of them.
Let's talk about the other side of the ball. The Kings end a series drama via Sabonis, who ends the series averaging 16 points, 11 rebounds, 1 sternum stomp, 1 elbow to the face, and 0 handshakes.
Jeez.
Draymond did not appreciate it. Take a listen.
Lost a lot of respect for Sabonis. You don't shake guys' hands after you lose. I don't respect that. I once left the court when we lost in Game 7 of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I went to my locker room and I sat down and I said, this don't feel right. And I walked back out on the court and I showed everybody love. You lost. Deal with it. Pay your respect.
Yeah, but he also famously, after that lesson in 2016, wouldn't shake Tristan Thompson's hand and then talked about it at the parade, about how they're not built from the same stuff, so that's why he wouldn't shake his hand. I will take lessons in sportsmanship from a lot of people. But I am not taking lessons in geography from Kyrie Irving and lessons in sportsmanship from Draymond Green. I'm simply not doing it. So listen, Sabonis did not acquit himself well during the series. I bet he was very disappointed with himself, and Draymond stomped on his chest.
Well,
so, and there was a clip from the stands of yesterday's game of Draymond trying to coach up Jordan Poole and Jordan Poole blowing him off because Jordan Poole, I don't know if that was just a one-moment thing or it's still from 6 months ago. Certain things are tough to get over. And Draymond doing that to Sabonis, if Sabonis like, man, I'm not shaking your hand. Right. And especially if he thought the Looney thing, I didn't think the Looney thing was intentional or dirty. But if he thought it was, he's like, all right, one guy elbows me in the face, another guy stomps on my chest. I'm not shaking your hand. I'm just not listening to it from Draymond.
Yeah, I mean, so, look, when you say that about the guy that you stomped on his chest, come on, it's like Draymond, even if he might have shaken everybody else's hand and not yours. And you got to deal with that. All right, because what Draymond did obviously was dirty. And look, I get it, but this is kind of like Draymond talking, when he said about the B word. Oh, yeah. And, you can't call anybody that. And then you called Kevin Durant that. You called LeBron that. You know, what are you talking about? This is the same thing. Do you respect LeBron? Yeah. LeBron walked off the court when they lost to Orlando in 2009, went to the locker room, didn't shake anybody's hand, and caught a lot of heat for that. Didn't talk to the media either. Isaiah Thomas did that with Michael Jordan. That was still kind of a sore spot with them. Isaiah's told me that that's how the Celtics treated them. When they finally overcame the Celtics were, they left the court. And so I'm not saying that is sportsmanship. You should shake the guy's hand. But am I going to join Draymond in losing respect for Sabonis because he didn't? Not at all.
Just shake his hand.
So you're with Draymond.
I had a rough show, and Josh came over to me. He's like, "Wilds, you screwed up my graphics." I say, "You know what? That's my bad." I shook his hand. The show was over.
Shake
Josh hadn't stomped on your chest.
You don't know what happens in my office. LeBron up next. Don't forget you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports Channel on Sirius XM. It's great, bro.
It is.
Yeah,
it's
get
fantastic.
in your car, go to the forest, buy your wife some flowers. Next.
It's almost as fun as lighting the beam.